Hello everyone, welcome back. It's Empyrion Galactic Survival Episode 3. I'm Enigmius, and today, of course, we're continuing with the tutorial, but we've got a few things that I did kind of behind the scenes. They were a little bit on the repetitious side, and it would be nice to just have them done so we could move on, sort of stuff. We're going to go over that very quickly, and there's something around our base. Oh, there he is. And he's making all kinds of noise. We're going to make sure the gun's loaded. Then we're going to come down here and see if we can't... There he is. I don't think we can get far enough towards the edge that we can get him without falling off, so we'll deal with him in a second. We've built out our base quite a bit. You two shut up down there. There's two of them now. We built out the base, and I wanted to just kind of get this done because one of the objectives that we have for the next tutorial is to add a turret and an ammo box, and I wanted those on the roof. So I built the entire outer shell of the structure out of the hardened armor blocks, the hardened metal blocks, and it's lit. It was very important after the last episode, which was very dark for most of the time, and I didn't really feel comfortable with that. It's kind of pointless to have a video where everything's black. And down in here as well, everything is more appropriately lit, I guess you could say. It's not necessarily ideal, but you can see everything everywhere, and that's kind of the thing. So we've got from the last episode our fuel tank, our generator, our large constructor, and then I also added a refrigerator, which allows us to preserve things that have a perish time. Some things, plants, meats, things like that, they will perish over time, and then they turn into rotten food, which we can use for some things, but other things we don't want it to perish, so we put it in the fridge and it stops the timer, so we can not worry about it so much. That was very convenient because the aloe vera is used with plant fiber to make bandages, and bandages are a very handy thing to have indeed. I also added a automatic door, which is just kind of a nice thing to have when you're trying to keep the bad guys out, is a door. And I think for these guys, given that there's two of them, we're gonna bring out the big guns, so to speak. Look at these freak. One guy's got his head stuck in the wall, and the other guy's just sort of hanging out. Is he dead? He's dead. All right, that's exactly what I was hoping for too. Was the leveling up. I hear another one. There's another one out there. So this is spoiled food, and there's 4 of them here, which is kind of a bit of a bonanza. So I can't believe there's another one here. Right? What the hell? No, this is the guy that we already killed. He's got 5 spoiled food. Wow, we are just striking it rich. There he is. Look at this guy. All the way over there, and he knows where he's going. He's a plant monster. What? Oh, good lord. So many plant monsters. They are resilient little fellas. There we go. Bloody hell. We took a lot of health damage. We want to make sure that we don't pass up any of this delicious loot. Of course, he's embedded in the terrain. Oh, we might be able to... Can we get that? No, I think he's embedded in the terrain. We might not be able to get that one. Oh, hey. I've been bitten and I'm poisoned. And I hear another one. What in the hell is going on? It's the night of the plant monsters. Do I have? Yes, I do. I have the cure for the poisonous bite. Eat it. There we go. And you have an open wound. Great. And because I'm a genius, I left my bandages in the constructor outside the base. Yeah, we're gonna have no choice. We have to go out there. And we have to grab bandages and use one before we die. Okay. We made it. So we got an open wound, which was causing bleed damage, and we got poisoned, which was causing poison damage, and we had to use specific items to deal with those. So we used a bandage to deal with the open wound, and we used a particular plant to deal with the poison, the plant being the pixie stalk bundle. And these have a perish time. So now that we've identified these guys as useful, and also having already accumulated a certain amount of spoiled food, we're going to put these guys in the fridge, and then we don't have to worry about it so much. First thing we're going to do is we're going to build, I think, if we're lucky, this guy, the cannon turret. That is beautiful. And then we're going to unlock. This is why I needed to level up, and I thought I was going to have to do it by mining or cutting down trees, but we won't, so we don't need that. Where is it? Base misc. However, small ammo box, that's what we want. Unlock, and then we should be able to go in here. And first of all, there's the cannon turret. These things are just enormous. I absolutely love them. We need to make an ammo box. And we need a control device to do that, which is not a big deal at all, because that's a control device right there. And then build the ammo box. And then we also need to build ammunition. Is this 30 millimeter? Yep, 30 millimeter. We need metal pieces, which we'll have to make, which is no big deal. I mined up a bunch of iron as well. We had over 710 iron ingots that came from what we mined in addition to what we already had. So I've got a little bit more liberty to make things in batches like ammunition. The only thing is, if we run out of magnesium, it could be bad. That's the other thing that we need for ammunition. There is a magnesium deposit. Actually, you can see it, the marker right there, 405 meters away, that we can head to if we're really hard up for ammunition. So, that should be plenty to keep that whole thing happy. Now what we can do is we can head up here to our reasonably well-lit roof. And we'll put this guy on our hotbar. And then we'll place this guy on our roof. Look at that. That is glorious. Kind of decide where exactly we want it. Realistically, I don't think it matters all that much. So we're going to put it here. The really cool thing I find about these turrets is that it's automatic. If there are enemies in the area, you can set it up so that it'll shoot at the enemies, and you can also jump in and take control of it yourself if you just want to have some manual turret action and a jolly good time. So that's definitely something that I really appreciated out of this, is having that choice. But now we need to get our ammunition box and placed and put some ammunition in it for this guy. So the way this game handles different shapes for blocks is kind of neat. You select the block that you've already made, and then you right click, and then it gives you the list of all the different blocks that you can make, which is a pretty extensive list. I'm really happy with that. We can make a lot of different shapes and things, and we'll have to experiment over time to see what sort of things we can get out of it. But I like it. It's a neat little system that allows the kind of flexibility. Why do I get the feeling I'm about to get my face eaten off from behind? There we go. That's the one I want. Except that wasn't the one I wanted. 4. There we go. And when you dismantle things... Uh-oh. Drones. We gotta get this done. No more goofing around. When we dismantle things, we get back the components that are necessary to make the thing. We don't get the thing. So that's one of those important details, I guess you could say. Now, the reason why I was humming and hawing and trying to figure out how I wanted to set this up is because we have to set this up nearby, I think. But I didn't want it in the line of fire. I didn't want it blocking the turret. So we did it a little bit differently. And what we're going to do is we're going to jump down. And we're going to go back in here, and there should be some bullets. Where be the bullets? There they are. 150 30mm bullets that we can bring up here where it's all nice and safe and quiet for the time being. And put the bullets in here. We also want... Where is it? There it is. The food processor, which is 2 more computers and 2 control devices. And those guys... Oh, here we go. Drone incoming. Let's just kind of stay low for a second and see if the turret... Oh, here he goes. Yeah, he just loaded. Oh, Mr. Drone. Wow. What a shame it is to be you. Now what we can do is put on our helmet. And we're going to go for a little dive. That was extremely convenient. And kind of spectacular, I have to say. I like the animations for those cannons. Bullets, components, blah, 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 blah. And back the other way. How are we doing for oxygen? Oxygen is good. Food is not great. But it's only five minutes. It's only 5 minutes, half the night. Until daytime when we can go kill some dinosaurs for some meat. And that'll take care of our food problems for quite some time. Okay, so it's making the food processor. It'll make the cables and it'll make the O2 station. We'll place the food processor while we're waiting. And we'll spin that around. That's probably a good spot for it. Yeah, that works. So now with this guy, we can cook a wider variety of food. We can make space fries, we can make cheese, we can make ribs, emergency rations, which are handy. In fact, we may end up having to use some depending on how the hunting trip goes. All kinds of good stuff here. Alien tooth and magnesium powder, purified water, antidote ejections, antidote pills, alien thorn, magnesium powder. Oh, I've seen alien thorn before. Okay. Bandages. We can make some canned meat. Who wants to make canned meat? Veggie burger. Meat burger. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're actually going to grab these goodies. And these goodies. Fiber. I'm going to put them in here, and then we put them in the food processor. And we need to make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 bandages. I put 9, but it'll be fine. We'll be okay. Where did it go? There it is. Put that there so we can place it. And I think we'll just tuck it in the back here. And now, no O2 in the tanks. I see. I see how it is. Do you have any in here? 12 O2 bottles. That's not bad at all. Oh, don't tell me that it needs O2 tanks. It does, doesn't it? It needs actual O2 tanks. I don't think... Oh, it's probably part of the list. Okay, this should be fairly straightforward. Small O2 tank. And we're going to put this directly on top of our fuel tank. And then into this O2 tank, we're going to put these guys. And then with those there, we can fill our oxygen. Cool. So there's definitely a limit to how much oxygen you can have in here, and then having that translate into your suit so you can carry it around with you, but it's a pretty convenient way of filling up your oxygen. We do have 5 small bottles that we can use in case of emergency out in the field, but in terms of topping up it in the base, that's not bad. So, that's, let's see what else it wants us to do for O2 and food production. Equip your base, add O2 and food production. So we craft and place the fridge, O2 station, small O2 tank, and the food processor. This is exactly where it got stuck for me before, as I've done all those things and it says it still says it's incomplete. So I don't know exactly what to do. The only thing I can think of right now, we're going to take these out and we're going to okay. We'll put these back in here and we'll be able to make another fridge right away because we recovered all the components, just not the actual fridge itself. Computer and pipes, and then we go fridge, and it'll make the fridge, and then we'll place the fridge, and if we're lucky, that'll be enough to trigger it done. But there's no guarantees. Oh, we got it. We did it. We advanced the quest. Fantastic. So the next quest is actually to set up the gardening. So what we're going to do is we're going to call it a day there. Next episode, the sun will be up fairly promptly. We're going to chop down some trees. We're going to get some logs. We're going to turn the logs into planks, and then we're going to turn the planks into wood blocks. Yeah, you get 10 wood blocks out of 1 log, basically, if my math is right. So it's, in terms of economy, it's tough to do better than that. And we're going to set up a sort of a elevated garden, so the monsters can't get to us while we're up dealing with the garden. But it's going to be cheap and easy to build. We don't have to worry about using up all of our metal, because we're going to need that for ships. So here we go. The dawn of a new day is coming. We're going to do some logging. We're going to chop down some trees. We're going to gather some logs. We're going to make the stuff, and we're going to work on our garden, pursuing the tutorial completion. If you want to be notified when we release that video, you can always subscribe to my channel. You can follow me on social media. Links for social media are always in the information box below the video. Feel free to leave your comments and feedback. Thanks for watching, guys, and take care.